trust your team, you always want to hire those who are better than you. You already chose the person who are, you know that they can do the job better than you, then trust them. Let them do what they know and support them. Because once they can grow, you grow. Same with my company before in Vietnam. I have a sales team, I have a tech team, and so whatever they want or they have any suggestion, we supported them. And now when I work at CCTB, I have a great team. I have academic coordinator and I have a team of almost 40 now.
The difference between manager or leaders, right? You have a lot of managers in the world, right? People always focus on the tasks and instead of putting their team first or empowering their team or trusting their team. One of the biggest challenges in business is, I think, micromanagement and not trusting your team. And you said you like to work with people who are better than you, so that's amazing. I think some companies don't even hire people like that, right? So
yeah.
Because they want someone to take their directions.
Be kind with everyone. I wouldn't say all mistakes can be fixed, but most of them. Again, your skills are transferable. Regardless whether you're in education, you're in business, you're in hospitality, you use all those skills. Especially for us immigrants, when we first started, it's not the time to be picky yet. Just grab any opportunity that you can, and they're there for a reason. So just grab them, learn from them, and you will always learn something from somewhere and something. When I say work-life balance, I work more than life.
Hello everyone, greetings from Vancouver. Welcome to the 5th episode of the AD Show podcast. Today I'm very excited to introduce you my next speaker. I have actually two speakers today. I have the great pleasure and honor of introducing Uyen, who is the academic manager at one of the most prestigious colleges in Vancouver, Canada, CCTB. And I have Barkey here as well as my second speaker. Hello.
Thank you for having us.
Uyen, thank you so much for taking the time to join our podcast today. And I know this episode is going to be very inspiring and motivational for young professionals and students. Your journey from Vietnam to becoming a successful academic manager in Canada is truly inspiring. So I would like to ask you, what initially brought you to Canada?
So I came to Canada almost 6 years ago. It was 2018. Never thought of moving to a different country. What actually happened was that I was talking to a friend of mine about my niece, because I asked her, so my friend, she worked in international education. And so I asked her that, hey, I would like to plan for my niece to study abroad, because originally in Vietnam, like the educational system is not that good. Mm-hmm. And so then after we discussing, and she was like, Uyen, you do have the potential of studying abroad. So maybe you should think about it. I have never thought of it. But then looking back in my working history, I have been working since I was 18. And I ran a company, a tech company. It was fun. And,
wow.
And then it started to plateau out. Like I was growing like this, and then I was going like that. And I'm like, yeah, I now I do want to do something different. So, well, long story short, that's how I decided to come to Vancouver and pursue my MBA. Every single day, when I think about my decision, I'm happy that I made the decision.
So that's how your journey started.
That's how it started.
And it's been 6 years.
Almost 6 years.
Almost 6 years, and you have MBA, and you are a successful academic manager. So it's quite inspiring, and it's a great career, I think, because especially for us, as someone who was not born and raised here, coming here and starting from scratch and building that career that fast is very inspiring. So it always, when I hear inspiring stories like this, it always makes me excited to share with the audience, because there's a lot of people that I feel they need this motivation. What inspired you to pursue a career in education? And how did your experiences as an immigrant shape your path here in Canada?
To be really honest with you, I didn't choose education. Destiny lead the way, and I just follow. So being in education field wasn't my choice, but the more I work in the field, the more I love it. I'd say being an immigrant also helped me a lot in doing my job. And if I have to say the three main reasons, I would say the first one is that because I was an international student myself. So I think it helped me a lot in partly understanding the students. I wouldn't say understand because everyone is going through different things. But at least being an international student, I understand the excuse me, the challenge of being a student and the difference in culture, in language, in expectation, in everything. So that is the first reason. The second one is the fact that I start to study again when I'm a little bit older is also helpful because our students are all adult learners. So they're not, teenagers. They have a different mindset. Our students at CCTB, they're all adult learner. We have people from early 20s to late 40s. So me, after going to work for like 10 years and go back to school, I have a different mindset. So that is also helpful. And the third reason, I would say coming to Canada alone, build your life all over again alone is also helpful because also that's what our students, or a lot of them, are going through. So I become more patient and more flexible. And I guess that's how it helped me in doing my job.
Exactly. And so was it a because being managing a tech company in Vietnam and now being one of the leaders in education industry, so was that switch challenging for you, or because two different worlds, or do you think your skills from the tech industry help you in this role too?
I think it helped a lot because when I ran the company, I have to plan. A lot of it is planning and then execute the plans and follow up with the plans. So it's the same here when you work in education, in the admin team, that you have to plan a lot. So a lot of my jobs is that I have to plan for classes, I have to plan for instructors, and then so after I plan, I need to execute them. I'm like, okay, instructors, can you teach these classes? And also for students who, okay, let's say I know that we're gonna have 150 students this semester. How many classrooms will we need? How many instructors we need? So it's like almost all the skill set that I learned before I can apply here. And because I ran a tech company and at CCTB we have tech programs, so then it really helped me in terms of like understanding what the students are going to study. So I have been lucky.
Yes, and also that shows your resilience too, that your adaptability to a different sector, and I think your skills from tech industry are really helping you in this role, and it's a management role, and I think must be a great experience, an interesting experience too, because you are in connection with all the parties, instructors, students, and you have a team and management,
Yeah.
and it's very interesting. I see you as the brain of the operation, so that's you must be very busy.
Thank you. It's a good kind of busy, so I'm happy.
Now I feel like I need to ask a question to Barky too.
Go
Wow, the
ahead.
story should be the same as yours, right? Because you guys came together, or
No,
no?
no, he's from here.
Oh, really?
I picked him up in March this year.
Oh, this year. I didn't
He's
know.
11 months old.
Oh, 11 months old. Okay. He's enjoying the podcast. As an immigrant and leader in the education sector, so what were some of the key challenges that you faced and how did you overcome them?
I think as an immigrant, the biggest challenges is, I would say, culture. Because when you are from different culture, you have different kind of expectation. And you have a different ways of, or not you, but yeah, you and also the students. They everyone has a different way of dealing with issues. So let's say I'm from Vietnam, and people from Vietnam, they are normally they don't really tell you what's wrong. They just quietly try their best to deal with whatever problem they are facing with, but they don't tell you that unless they are like really pushed to the very end of the tunnel. Then they will tell you. But sometimes it may be too late. Well, then some other culture, like if they just face the issue before they themselves try to fix it, they will just scream and yell at you. So like you have these different expectations from different culture, and because Canada is an immigrant countries, so you have people from everywhere, and so when they come to you, so that's what I until today I still have to learn is to be patient and understand where they are coming from, what are their expectations, and same with leaders, because again, being in Canada, at CCTB, we have people from everywhere. Like in one department, you can have 5 people from 5 different countries. So then understanding them, not just the culture, but the language too. Because they, it's funny that when we are in Vietnam, we learn that this phrase means something. But when I came here, I realized that that phrase doesn't mean that. I'm like, oh, okay. Then I need to relearn whatever I learned before. So, but I guess that between language and culture, you can learn over time and be open minded, be flexible. And if you face anything, I believe that just communicate, like talk to people, like, hey, that's what I perceive. Is that what you really want to convey? And most of the time, they're like, no, that was not what I meant. I meant this. And so, just be more understandable.
You are right. I mean, in Canada, we are living in a country where we have lots of different cultures and different languages, and as you said, everybody, each culture has different way of understanding, and everything is very different, and we face different cultures in a daily basis. Our colleagues could be from different cultures, and the people we work with, and our students, and everything. So you were talking about, some people, they try to solve things by themselves first before they ask for assistance, but where some other cultures, maybe they are used to share it right away or before maybe even try. So I would say I also have similar experiences in my work life. So I think if everyone was to practice certain maybe words, that like polite words, I think it will really change the entire experience, like saying thank you, please. And these are, doesn't have to be cultural. I think everyone can practice it. So we were also talking with students about different cultures and then how important it is to use these polite words. And yeah, I think everyone should treat each other with respect. He's talking about yeah, now.
He likes him now.
He's used to me now. If everyone was to practice patience, and if everyone was to treat each other with respect, I don't think we would need to worry about anything. But I know that's not the case. But I think working with different cultures are giving you resilience, and I think it's growing us as a person. We are learning a lot.
Definitely, yeah. And you start to see things that you have never thought that can even happen. So you're like, okay, I need to adjust my expectation. And one fun thing about, and to be honest, working at a college is also a customer service, right? So your customers are the students. And at the time that you think that I have seen enough, no. They will always come back to you and like surprise you and like, just, that one moment you said, I have seen enough, and no, you're going to see something else. They never stop being able to surprise you.
So you have a great background and inspiring career. So my question to you is, being a business professional, what are some of the strategies that you use to inspire your teams and people you work with? What are some of the best practices that you have been using?
I wouldn't say I have a strategy, but I would say I have a philosophy that I follow. First of all, I always try to be as supportive as I can. Because I think I was lucky, I had a really good manager when I first started my first serious formal profession. And he taught me so much. And one of the things that I learned from him, and I have been doing it, is that, yeah, being as supportive as possible. Trust your team, because you always want to hire those who are better than you. So you already chose the person who are, you know that they can do the job better than you, then trust them. Let them do what they know and support them, because once they can grow, you grow. So I will always be there to support my team. I will check with them. You okay? You need help? I do have some cases when my team saying that it's okay, I can do it, but I know that a person is already overwhelmed, and so I just secretly do whatever I can, and I'm like, hey, I did that already. So, and just like, thank you. I'm like, I know, it's okay. So I do know that, like, I always, again, I have been very lucky that I always have really good team member, and so I just do my best to support them. And because once you support your team, they trust you, you trust them, then your clients will be happy. So same with my company before in Vietnam, I have a sales team, I have a tech team, and so whatever they want or they have any suggestion, we supported them. And now when I work at CCTB, I have a great team. I have an academic coordinator, and I have a team of almost 40 now, and they know what they're doing. So support them.
And I also would like to say that I think you are being too humble. And since I also know you personally too, I think you are someone, you are a great leader first. And you are also too humble, because you said you have been lucky to work with good teams always. But I think it's your approach that makes your team better, because the things that you just said, I mean, I see that, you know, there is big discussion going on, right? It's been decades about the difference between manager or leaders, right? And we have a lot of managers in the world, right? People always focus on the tasks, and instead of putting their team first or empowering their team or trusting their team. That's why now we have some one of the biggest challenges in business is, I think, micromanagement and not trusting your team. And you said you like to work with people who are better than you. So that's amazing. I think some companies don't even hire people like that, right? So
Yeah.
because they want someone to take their uh, directions or
Yeah.
decisions in a way that, but that's not healthy, I think, right? So
No.
you are going nowhere like that.
You go nowhere with that. And
You need different perspectives.
the first philosophy is to, be supportive and trust your team. And the second is to just be kind with everyone. I wouldn't say all mistakes can be fixed, but most of them. Again, I came from a culture when if someone in a company make a mistake, they have to pay for it, like literally pay for it from the pocket. And so when I worked with my manager back then, he's an American person, and I learned a different perspective. And I'm like, it's okay, just do your best, and if you mess it up, we can do it again. We can fix it. There's always different ways. And so when I realized there is an
Option
such an option, exactly, I'm like,
exists.
I become way more grateful for that option. So I always start to do that too. I'm like, I encourage my team that it's okay. If you make a mistake, it's fine. We can fix it. It's not like the end of the world. And that will be something that I will always try to do too.
And we learn from our mistakes.
We learn from our mistake, and we, like, even the leader, they learn every day. They didn't make that mistake before. That's why they didn't teach their team member. So now both are learning. So again, you learn from your team member.
Of course. And if that motto about paying for your mistakes was the right one, then we would not have any startup companies, because if you make a mistake, you're done. Like,
You're done.
but that's how we learn, right? So for those looking to advance their careers in the educational industry, so what are some of the key skills or qualities you believe they should develop?
I would say there is no specific skill that you can built to be in education field, because I think, your skills are transferable. Like if you know how to plan, then you can plan anything, anywhere. If you have experience and you know how to communicate, how to work in a team, you use that everywhere. Regardless whether you're in education, you're in business, you're in hospitality, you use all those skills. So just the more, I would say, life skills, the better. It may sound funny, but especially for us immigrant, when we first started, it's not the time to be picky yet. Like just grab any opportunity that you can, and they're there for a reason. So just grab them, learn from them, and you will always learn something from somewhere and someone, either good or bad. And if it's bad, then you know what you shouldn't become, for example. Because this is a side topic here is that, people are normally saying that I want to be this, I want to be that. But it's also fine if you said, I know what I don't want to be. And that's fine too. So experience in anything will help.
And I agree with you. I think if you have that not being picky attitude when we come to a new country as an immigrant, I think that's how the opportunities, that's how you start seeing the opportunities, because you are more approachable and you are also more eager to discover the opportunities around you. But I think that's a great advice for all immigrants who move to a new country, just having that eagerness to grab an opportunity and build that confidence and see where life takes you, right? I think that's great.
Yeah, because I study and also I worked in this field, and I see a lot of those who are facing challenges. A lot of those are facing challenges are those who's like, I already have 5 years experience in my home country. I was a manager. I want to be a manager again. I'm not saying that it's impossible. I'm just saying that it's not as easy as they think. And being a manager in your home country, different language, different working culture, everything is different. So if you just want to become a manager here, even if you can get that job, it will be super challenging because it's not the same. So better to start from the very fundamental, the basic, and then you grow stronger by then.
Exactly. I think that's a great advice for students. Now I have a fun question that I always ask my speakers. So talking about work and life balance, working in the education industry could be demanding. How do you balance your professional and personal life?
I try my best. I think I'm kind of a workaholic in a way. At the very beginning, I told you that I started to work when I was 18 and I have never stopped. So I think when I say work-life balance, I work more than life. But I enjoy it. That's the thing. Like, I believe that everyone heard the phrase that if you work in something that you like, you don't feel like working. So it is fun. But I do try to...
Maybe you can talk about some of the things you enjoy.
Yeah,
doing
I'm
it.
thinking. I try to balance between work and life by, trying to not think about work when it comes to, let's say, the weekend or holidays. And I love crafting. So then I try to do a little bit of crafting sometimes.
When I moved to Canada, I think I didn't know that was such a term as work and life balance. Coming from Turkey, I think in our country, in our culture, we don't learn about that. I started asking myself after coming to Canada, why no one taught me that, or why we don't have work and life balance in Turkey? Well, we know the answer, because especially someone coming from hospitality industry, working in the hotels for my entire life, I used to work 6 days a week. So I have only 1 day off. Okay, what
What
life
can you...
balance? You try to sleep or rest,
Yeah. To be honest, my life is way more balanced in Vietnam because I'll go to the gym. I can just hang out with friends at night.
I watched a video about, it was saying that some cultures believe that when you age, you lose your youth. Some cultures say when you age, you get wiser.
Oh yeah.
No, when you said you get older, you got wiser.
People normally do not like to talk about how old they are and stuff, but I don't mind. And actually, I like it when I'm older because I do feel that I enjoy me when I'm in my 30s way more than when I'm in my 20s. I mean, I enjoy it differently, but I'm happy that I'm in my 30s now.
That's great. For some reason, I'm missing my 20s, but I don't know why.
Work too much?
Maybe.
I think so. That's most of the
Someone told me that when you're in your 30s, like mid or late, I'm not sure when it happens, but you may. But I thought
midlife crisis kind of thing.
my understanding of midlife crisis was like you are doing extreme things all of a sudden or something. I don't
I
know.
think so. I think so. I think that's
Like
what
I
it
want to
meant.
do a tattoo on my face or something, which is very not me. But is that kind of a thing? I don't know actually.
No, okay. If we talk about midlife crisis, I would say like my sister. My sister is now 42. Oh my, she's 42 now. She has never idolized anyone. Now she's idolized two young Chinese celebrities.
Okay.
Like idling, like she follows them on social media. She listened to them singing. That she read their news. I'm like,
I just decided to enjoy my life more.
no,
That's
that's
it.
different. Yeah, no, that's fine. That's
Right.
also like I learned about myself a lot. Like, yeah, I think one thing Canada help us is we learn about ourselves too.
True.
When we are back home, we are just like we are in the flow.
We don't have time to think about ourselves.
Yeah, no. But then, yeah, in Canada, you start to learn like why I behave the way I am and like why I am who I am today. You start to think like that, and then you like, maybe I don't like that part of me. I'm gonna do something to change it. And that's one thing that I like about Canada is self-awareness is something is taking seriously, and yeah, that's something I like about here.
I agree. I think one of the benefits of living in another country is that, for instance, you are Vietnamese Canadian, I'm Turkish Canadian. We know two different cultures. We have two different cultures in us, and we could choose or we could use the best of each and create
Agree.
something unique.
Agree.
Like talking about work-and-life balance, I don't think we use that term in my culture. Also, I don't know how is it in your culture, but in our culture, people are tend to work so hard until the retirement, thinking that I will enjoy my life after retirement. That's how they raise us.
Yes.
And after coming to Canada, I realized no, that's not right. And I keep telling my parents every day, okay, enjoy your days, go out, whatever you want to go, travel, because you hear the sad stories. Okay, people get retired, but sometimes you get sick, or you don't know how long you're gonna live, or I don't know if you will have time to enjoy the life, right?
Agree.
So some of the cultural things that I'm so happy that I changed in me. So my perspective.
Yeah, I think that's really true. I keep telling people that sometimes I give people birthday gift before their birthday because I'm like, I don't know whether you're still alive by that day or I still alive. So, and I know you need the gift now. So here you go. Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's
really
from your heart, right? It's great, sincere. Despite your many accomplishments, what keeps you motivated, and what is your vision for the future?
Before answering that question, I have a funny story to tell. So, my boss that I told you earlier, so his name is Richard. So, this one day he asked me, "What do you think motivate you to work or to do anything?" And I'm like, "Money." And he looked at me and he said, "No, you're not a money motivated person." I'm like, "Oh, am I not?" Think about it. He said, "Think about it. You're not a money motivated person." So I spent like a day or two think about it, and I still couldn't figure it out. So I asked him, "Okay, what motivate me?" And he's like, "Accomplishment." So you are the type that when you have things to do, you do it the best you can. I'm like, "That's true. Yes, that's me." And that's what motivate you because you want to do things, the best way you can and accomplish them.
So you are an achiever.
Yeah, I can say that. And I think that has always been my motivation because let's use my work now for an example. So during my work, I will start to see, okay, there are room for improvement here and there. And I will start to plan. And then once I plan, I'll do my best to execute the plan. And then when the plan success, of course I'm happy. I'm like, yay, I did something great. And when that plan go on, there will be some other issue come up, and so that's keep me motivated. Like, do better and do it with everything you have.
I think I also would like that you like to tackle challenges. You enjoy the process of that journey. You know that you're an achiever. You just wanna go get it what you want.
Yeah,
That motivates you.
yes, that's true. I don't like to stay till. Does that make sense?
You're right.
That's yeah. I'm like, if I stop growing, I'm like, something's wrong. Either I'm not doing something right, or the environment I am in is not right, or something. But yeah,
So I have now some rapid fire questions. You don't need to think about them further, or you can try to answer them quickly if you like. Some fun questions. So while we are at the end of our wonderful episode 5, yay. Would you like to leave a message to our audience?
yeah. If I can send a message, I would say, be kind. Just treat people the way you want to be treated. Because I think sometimes we are too busy with our own problems, our stress and stuff, and we forgot the fact that other people also have their problems. So I learned this from my boss before too, Richard, is that make someone smile. Maybe that they need that smile. So if you can just make one person smile per day,
That's a
That's
success.
yeah, that's a success. And if you can make more than one, that's even better. But yeah, try to do that, and you yourself will feel that life is way better.
Well, that's a very powerful message. Thank you so much. And I agree with Uyen that I think, yeah, my message is the same. Be kind and smile, right? I think the world will change if everyone was to practice that.
I hope so.
Thank you so much for watching the 5th episode of the AD Show podcast. If you liked what you saw, please subscribe for our podcast. And we thank you so much for your time. Bye.
Thank you.